morning, everybody. We're currently on our way to the Kennedy Space Center this morning. We're gonna spend a day there and see what we can find. We're kind of interested in it. A lot of people said it's really good to go to. I'm sorry, the sun's currently in my face. Gigi is driving this morning. That's why she's not gonna be talking to you right now. So we're interested in what we can find from a lot of different people. Have had a lot of different experiences there, and different things are open during different times of the year. So let's see what's going on today. I'm gonna eat ice cream for you, she said. Right.
We can go over by car. They say it has to be by the
Ooh, look at that.
Very beautiful.
What a line.
I don't know which lane I need. I already paid for the parking. We stay here.
Look at that. Getting closer every minute to Gigi. Looking here. They're already up there. Welcome to Lhasa. It's the Lhasa. Why do they call it the Kennedy Center?
Maybe it's like that Kennedy.
So we have to find a building called the ATX to get our shuttle tickets to go in the shuttle. Bless you. I think we spent a little too much time in water the last few days. I think it's this building right there. The universe meter. So ATX and then the back. This is supposed to be the moon. This is supposed to be something now. And go. More. Top tier to reserve. Yes.
Either be up in this area
Two.
or out there.
Today, 18. What time is it?
9:40.
9:30 is good. Confirm. 2 gas. That was easy. And they print out. That's how you get your shuttle tickets, guys. Now we go wait for the 9:30 bus. Vilken mariachset small. It smells a little bit like the you guys look, this thing's made out of Legos. Tour.
Our vacuums are plugged up. We have to clean them out before we get out.
So because we got here fairly early, we got one of the very first bus tours at 9:30, and it's like 9:17 right now. So we're one of the first ones to go over there. Come back over here after that and do everything. And the reason why we're doing the bus tours first is because the people in information told us that bus tours are limited, so once they're gone, so might as well do it first. So we're about to leave the base here on this bus, the expedition bus.
What?
Are you ready?
We have pondered our place amongst the stars since the dawn of humankind. We've looked at the stars with wonder and amazement, their glow guiding our travel for centuries. The more we learn about our universe, the more questions we have. Today, we'll explore where NASA and its partners are taking us in the future. But before we begin this journey, just like every NASA mission, our #1 goal is to return home safely. So always stay seated while the bus is in motion. Please, no food or drinks on the bus with the exception of water. Please keep conversation to a minimum so others may hear and enjoy the tour. No photography is permitted at the security gates, but there will be plenty of photo opportunities during the tour.
Now, anyway, we get out here to the light. Up the road on the right is a Redstone rocket with a Mercury capsule. That type of rocket started the space race 60 years ago between the United States and Russia. Russia sent up the first item, it's called Sputnik. The United States sent up Explorer. Explorer stayed in space 10 years. Sputnik stayed in space just a couple of months. Then the Russians jumped ahead of us, sent dogs. We started sending up monkeys. Then they jumped ahead of us again. They sent Yuri Gagarin around the world. May the 5th, 1961, we launched Antelope Shepard in a rocket like this one up here. I did a 15-minute flight, landed in the Bahamas. 20 days later, President Kennedy made a statement before the decade is out by putting men on the moon and turn them safely to it. The astronauts loved that last statement. They went 9 times to the moon, landed on the moon 6 times, and 12 men walked on the moon. No other place in the world where men have left Earth walked on another celestial body. Right here at Kennedy Space Center. I guess they're not getting no volume on it.
Monumental achievement in space exploration. To welcome you, here's Space Shuttle astronaut and Center Director of Kennedy Space Center, Bob Cabana.
Hi, I'm Bob Cabana. Welcome to NASA's John F. Kennedy Space Center, where NASA astronauts have ventured forth on flights of exploration since the 1960s, and where future space exploration will take us to the Moon, Mars, and beyond. In all our history, there's been one common theme woven throughout our DNA. It's our insatiable desire to explore beyond our home planet and our never-ending quest to expand our knowledge of the universe. As you venture behind the gates, you'll find a community of the most talented, dedicated, motivated workforce anywhere in the world who believe in the unlimited potential of space exploration. This is an active spaceport where new things are happening every day. You never know what you might see, so enjoy your tour.
What about when you're standing next to a skyscraper or a really big bridge? Well, I feel about as small as an ant right now. I'm standing inside the vehicle assembly building trying to grasp how large it really is in here. It has 4 bays. Each bay has 2 large horizontal doors below it and 7 smaller vertically opening doors above it, tall enough to fit the world's largest rocket through. In fact, these are the largest doors in the world.
It was built in the 1960s for the Apollo program. Every Saturn V rocket that sent humans to the moon was assembled right here. Every space shuttle mission also assembled within these same walls. After the space shuttle program, a major renovation to the inside of this building began to accommodate NASA's next generation of rockets, the Space Launch System, or SLS. Lockheed Martin has developed a capsule called Orion that will sit atop the SLS rocket. This capsule is designed to facilitate human exploration of the moon and eventually Mars. The first flown Orion capsule from Exploration Flight Test 1, EFT-1, sits inside the NASA Now exhibit at the Visitor Complex. This uncrewed test flight launched it.
Has a wide load up in front. I don't know what it is. We'll see. We gotta get by it.
Before splashing down in the Pacific Ocean, where it was recovered and eventually brought back to KSC. Just outside the VAB, you'll see a full-scale replica of the Launch Abort System, or LAS. Developed by Lockheed Martin, this rocket-powered tower, designed to sit atop the Orion crew module, is built to quickly propel astronauts away from the rocket in case of an emergency. The actual LAS underwent a critical flight test in July 2019 called Ascent Abort 2. It launched atop a U.S. Air Force booster carrying a boilerplate, or non-functional, version of Orion, and successfully performed the abort maneuvers, proving that the LAS will be ready for its first crewed launch, Artemis 1. You'll be able to take a closer look at the LAS replica as we approach from the east side of the building. The construction of the VAB required 65,000 cubic yards of concrete, 45,000 steel beams, 1 million steel bolts amounting to almost 100,000 tons of steel. Notice the flag painted on the outside of the VAB? It's the size of a 21-story building. The blue section alone is the size of an NBA basketball court. Each star is 6 feet across, and each red and white stripe is wide enough for this bus to drive down. And the entire VAB? It's so huge that the Roman Colosseum would fit on the roof with room to spare for a parking lot. By volume, the VAB can fit 3.5 Empire State Buildings, and it would take 250 billion ping pong balls to fill it.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, the vehicle assembly building, before they could build it, because it was swampland, in the ground we had to drive 4,225 17-inch steel pilings. They had to drive them 160 feet in the ground to bedrock. Each steel pipe was filled with concrete. Then they laid an 8-foot thick bed of concrete over the pipes, which made the floor of the building. Then the building was assembled. Took them 3 years to build, at a cost of $175 million. This is so large that on the roof you to put 10 football fields and covers 8 acres of ground. And the inside volume, if I could take you in there, inside, anywhere you'd walk around, you'd look up, you'd see the inside the roof 525 feet above your head. It's the world's largest one-story building. And it took them 3 years to build. And like I said, it covers 8 acres of ground. So if you went up on the roof, it's 8 acres upon the roof. And
Dreams require big equipment. I'm standing next to the Crawler Transporter, the largest self-powered land vehicle in the world. It was originally built in 1965 for the Apollo program and has since been updated to accommodate the space shuttle and now NASA's SLS rocket. Weighing in at 6 million pounds and capable of lifting and hauling 18 million pounds, the Crawler is an engineering marvel, even without a rocket sitting on top of it. This thing has 2,750 horsepower V16 diesel engines that can carry the Crawler up to a top speed of, wait for it, 1 mile per hour while carrying a rocket. Keep an eye out for the Crawler as we approach this area. And remember, we are visiting a working spaceport, so while the Crawler may not stay in one area for very long, it's bound to be out here somewhere. Now,
ladies and gentlemen, the buildings ahead on the right, they were the orbiter processing buildings during the shuttle program, and now they've been turned over to Boeing and the Air Force. And Boeing took over hangar number 3, where they're working on the capsule, the CST-100 Starliner. And then the Air Force took hangar 1 and 2 for the X-37B. Now, once we get past these buildings, behind them is one of the 2 transporters. They had 2 of them. One is, the other day, was going out towards the pad area, doing a test run, I guess. I don't know if they brought it back yet or not. But the other one's still behind the building. The machines were built back in the 1960s in Ohio at the Marion Shovel Company. Now, to get them to Florida, they had to take them all apart. They brought them down in sections on railroad cars. And then we brought 50 men down here from Ohio and had to rebuild them. And they stand at 20 feet high. The bodies go up 26 feet. The track sections are 41 feet long, 10 feet high, 7 feet wide. And they have 57 cleats. They weigh a ton apiece. The driver sits in the glass area in the direction that the machine is going to travel. And takes 20 people to operate it. And you cannot turn them around. They only go forward. So if they're coming from the pad, there's a glass area in one corner where the driver sits coming from the pad. Now if they're going to the pad, it's way up the other end on the other side going out. You can't turn them around. They only go forward. And it takes inside an engine room and a computer room. And they're hybrids. It generates electricity. There's 16 electric motors that turn the treads. And now, over on the right, you'll see one of the machines. The other one is out towards the pad area. But this one over here, the one on my right, can only carry 12 million pounds. The other one that they're taking their test run with it can carry up to 18 million pounds. But, like I said, the capacity still, you can't see it. They are the world's largest land vehicle. And platform, number 3 platform, the tower on pad A came off at number 3 platform after the Saturn V rocket time period shut down. They took the tower off in this one for pad A. Then on platform number 2, the tower from that one went on pad D. But the one on pad A has been used for this Saturn V rocket period, used for the shuttle. Now SpaceX is using it for their items. So the one on pad A is the only one left out of the original 3 towers that was used on the Saturn V rocket time. And so, like I said, SpaceX is using it. On the other side of that is where the landing strip is located, where the orbiters used to land. And the runway over there is 3 miles long, has an overrun of a half mile each end, 300 feet wide. And the the concrete is 16 inches thick. And if you're standing at one end of the runway, you can't see the other end of it. The road on the left is not a roadway, it's the tollway, where we tow the orbiters from the landing strip out there down that road into the hangar. Now the landing strip now has been turned over to Space Florida. We're going to be at the Saturn V in a couple of minutes. We get there, take everything off the bus, and you're going in with the silver doors and the red arch. That's the first program. And when you come out of that, you're going to be standing under a 363-foot Saturn V rocket. There's only 3 left, one in Huntsville, Alabama, Houston, Texas, one we have. They'll never be used in the space program. The van that took the astronauts to the pads in there, cleats from the transporter. There's a command module in there. There's a lunar lander, a moon rock that you can touch. Then there's a moon buggy in there. At the other end of the building, there's a memorial for the 3 men that lost their lives on pad 34 in the Apollo 1 fire, which was light, crisp, and shaky. And there's a room in here with spacesuits. Go in there and look for Alan Shepard's spacesuit. He was the only one of the original 7 astronauts. The man went to the moon, walked on the moon, hit golf balls on the moon. NASA said he hit 2 golf balls. His daughter said my dad hit 3, so I kind of believe her. Never tell anybody the name of the golf balls. He wants to come using it for publicity. And the golf club he used is up in St. Augustine, Florida, the Golf Hall of Fame. His spacesuit's in here. It's got his name on it, Shepard. But if you look at his boots and his pant legs, they're dirty. They won't let us clean it. It's moon dirt, not earth dirt. And he passed away in California. His ashes are spread on the 18th hole on the golf course in Pebble Beach, California, where he played golf. So Alan Shepard's still playing golf. Straight ahead is Pad A, where that rocket went from the other night. And that's the tower out there, just telling you about. It came off platform number 3. And the grandstands, these were put in after Challenger's accident. And this was for the astronauts' family special VIP guests. Now we're using them for the rocket launches. Then straight out is 3 lightning towers, that's Pad B. And the next time they go to the moon or Mars for an asteroid, it'll be from Pad B out there. In front of us is a moon garden. And there's a pedestal with 3 figurines on it. Those are the first 3 men that went to the moon. Buzz Aldrin, Michael Collins, Neil Armstrong. Buzz is still alive. He's 91. He lives down in Indian Atlantic, and as they were told that he's been teaching over at the Melbourne College, Melbourne, Florida, the college. 91 years old. There's 12 trees. They actually took seeds to the moon, brought them back, planted them, grew these trees. Each tree represents an astronaut that walked on the moon. 12 men walked on the moon and 12 trees. And you can walk around the gardens, take all the photos you like. Check around, make sure you get everything with you.